Hey everybody, wanted to break down the 3rd and 19 play, obviously a very pivotal play in the game, and it allowed Ohio State to get the ball on the 1-yard line with first down and put them in position to win. So we're going to get 4 verts here from Ohio State. It's up, and he's going to come up here, and he's going to go up, vertical from Egbuka, who's going to catch the pass, and there's another wide receiver out here who's running a vertical. Notre Dame's going to be in a cover 4, basically, so cover 4, deep, and then Cam Hart's out here. He's deep as well. But what you're going to notice here is Xavier Watts is doubling on Marvin Harrison, which compromises the defense, right? Usually you would have a player here in the middle. Notre Dame's rushing 3, so you would have 4 deep and 4 across short. So J.D. Bertrand would work in here. You would have a player sitting in the middle of the field. Maris Leofau would work in this area. And then you would have another flat defender, Thomas Harper, over here, right? But you don't have this player. This player doesn't exist. This player, Xavier Watts, who would normally be here, is over here. So he is essentially not a part of the defensive structure, right? So we're going to see the play develop and how that compromises things. So they're up the field. So Xavier Watts, is just looking at Marvin Harrison here. So he is doubling him. There is no one in the middle of the field to take this Cade Stover. If he throws this ball, if McCord throws this ball here to Cade Stover, it's going to be a touchdown. It's not even going to be contested, right? Because Ramon Henderson is breaking on this. Technically, I think there's a possibility that Henderson is sitting on it. Now look, Henderson waits. It's just good. Bertrand widens him. That's good, right? And he goes to throw, and Henderson is now breaking on the ball. He is breaking here. If you had a player in the middle of the field, Bertrand would be working into this area here. This is where Bertrand would be working if you had a player in the middle of the field over top of Stover, okay? And Henderson would not be sitting at this point. He would be closer to here if you had a middle defender here. So what you've got now is you've got Bertrand having to widen here, and he is late to this area, and this is where the throwing lane comes from. Okay, so the effect of having a double on Marvin Harrison here means that there's no one in the middle of the field. Bertrand has to widen the tight end, which he does do, but it allows a window for the quarterback to zip a throw in here. The other part that makes this play successful for Ohio State is Ramon Henderson. So he's looking here. That's good by him, right? He needs to respect this middle because there's no one in here. So that's a good job by Ramon Henderson. He sees it, he breaks, but it's hard to see on this video, but he breaks back. He breaks back as if he's turning to run, which is just kind of a mental error in the moment. If he breaks towards the receiver, he will get there and make this play. But he breaks into the end zone, which allows the time. This is a good throw by McCord away from the defender, right? That's good ball placement by him. Cam Hart's rushing over. He tries to get there. You can make a case that Cam Hart needs to be closer here, right? It's a little bit nitpicky because he still has a receiver he has to worry about here. If you would want him closer here to make a play on this, because this is the first threat. He is the first vertical threat, right? And this is where the ball is going. So slightly late, but that's a little bit nitpicky for me. It's more just Henderson. If he breaks at a 90-degree angle, he will make this play. But instead, he opens hips in a situation where he definitely doesn't need to open hips. So the throwing window, and you see the throwing window here, right? This is where the ball is going. Bertrand would normally be sitting here, and the ball would have to be over the top. It's a much more difficult throw. It can't be thrown on a line like it is. But that's how it happened, right? It's a thin margin. It's a good throw by McCord. Okay, he gets that ball away from the safety, so where he can't make the play. Cam Hart almost gets there, but he doesn't, and that's the margin. That's the margin for success for Ohio State on this play. So again, you double on Harrison. You take a defender out of the middle of the field, which means that Henderson has to be looking at the tight end. which means he's not on number 2 as quickly as he could be. Bertrand, because there's no one in the middle of the field, has to widen Stover, which he does a good job of doing, but doesn't get to this area here, which allows the throw to have a window. Henderson doesn't take the right angle in trying to break up the play, and the ball gets there just in time. And that's the margin in college football.